Greetings. Today we have the Mutual Submission Clause, Part 1, and this is Section 3. We'll begin by the literal of the third verse of 1 Peter 3. Of whom, that is the wives, the world adorning, let it not be being outside braiding of hairs and wearing around of gold ornaments or dressing in or of garments. Now, Peter gives some instructions concerning the chaste conversation or pure manner of life, which is to win over the unbelieving husband. In the classic passage in Proverbs chapter 31, verses 10 through 31, concerning the virtuous woman, we find these words. In verse 25, strength and honor are her clothing, and she shall rejoice in time to come. She openeth her mouth with wisdom, and in her tongue is the law of kindness. She looketh well to the ways of her household, and eateth not the bread of idleness. Her children arise up and call her blessed, her husband also, and he praiseth her. Many daughters have done virtuously, but thou excellest them all. Favor is deceitful, and beauty is vain, but a woman that feareth the Lord, she shall be praised. Give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gates. Even if Peter had no first-hand knowledge of this passage from Proverbs 31, the Holy Spirit who was inspiring his writing in 1 Peter chapter 3 did have knowledge of it. It's not the outward adornments of the physical body which are the true measures of beauty with God, and therefore of any human being striving to be like him. Rather, it is the inward adornments which are most precious to him. The externals of 1 Peter 3:3 are to be contrasted with the internals of 1 Peter 3:4, a concept which is not new when it is discussed by Peter here in this passage. You might remember when Israel desired to have a king instead of another judge, God gave them the kind of king they desired, one who was judged by his external features, not by his internal ones. And when Saul failed to obey God's instructions, God declared that his sons would not reign after him, but God would choose someone else to reign over his people instead, a man with the right internals. In 1 Samuel chapter 13 and verse 14, it says, But now thy kingdom shall not continue. The Lord hath sought him a man after his own heart, and the Lord hath commanded him to be captain over his people, because thou hast not kept that which the Lord commanded thee. In 1 Samuel 16 and verse 7, But the Lord said unto Samuel, Look not on his countenance, it is external features, nor on the height of his stature, because I have refused him. For the Lord seeth not as man seeth. For man looketh on the outward appearance. He looks on the external features, but God looketh on the heart, on the internal features of a man. We'll close by considering the last three verses of the 78th Psalm, referring to David and why God chose him. Psalm 78:70 says, He chose David also his servant, and took him from the sheepfolds. From following the ewes great with young, he brought him to feed Jacob his people, and Israel his inheritance. So he, David, fed them according to the integrity of his heart, and guided them by the skillfulness of his hands. That's what God's looking for in his people, integrity of heart and skillfulness of hands.